Korean War. And so we sort of grew up thinking that things went on the way they were going, and there was this huge machine there, the government and everything else, that seemed to be monolithic and impossible to change or affect in any kind of way. And I left the United States and I lived in France for 7 years, and while I was there during the beginning of the civil rights movement here and the beginning of the peace movement, and I discovered all of a sudden that there were these tens of thousands of people in the United States who were protesting the war in Vietnam. And that forced me to examine the war. And I say that because it's very important. A lot of people think that only when you're famous, some famous individuals are the only people that can do anything. It is because of people like yourselves, people all across the country, who have spoken out consistently over the years, that people like me have been forced to examine the policy, our policy, the United States policy in Vietnam, and particularly the soldiers, the GIs who were drafted or who enlisted, who went there. These are guys, the sons of cab drivers, the sons of factory workers, the sons of grocery store owners, or retired government officials, or retired military officers. The average American man who went over believing in what he was doing and who came back a very changed person. And it was in contact with these men that I began to rethink thoughts about Vietnam. It was they who told me that the Vietnamese are not our enemy. I went to Vietnam because I thought that it was important for us to see as many people as possible, to see what was happening firsthand. I know that we're not being told the truth. And I think it's a crucial period in American history. And so I asked the Vietnamese, who I had gotten to know in Paris last year when I was making a film, if I could go, and they invited me. I was invited by the Film Association of North Vietnam and the Committee of Solidarity with the American People. And I spent 2 weeks there during the month of July. I traveled freely. The only thing that restricted where I went was the bombing. I had made a list before I went as to what I wanted to see, and I was shown everything that I asked. And I would like to try to communicate to you some of the things that I learned. Can we have the lights off, please?